What's up, guys? It's Casey Shine with Remax of Valencia. Let's talk about what we could expect with the housing market moving forward in 2021. Now, throughout 2020, a lot of people thought the housing market was going to crash and prices were just going to plummet. The opposite happened, and even at the peak of COVID restrictions and fear, prices kept rising. So a lot of the buyers that were trying to be smart and time the market got priced out of the market. And how is it that these high unemployment numbers were not affecting the housing market and people buying homes? Well, I read an article that stated it's because a lot of the unemployed were the lower income workers who were not in the market to buy a home to begin with, and a lot of the higher income professions were not as affected. The inventory shortage was the biggest problem for buyers and the biggest benefit for sellers throughout all of last year. That will continue to be the same throughout 2021. Interest rates hit a record low 16 times last year, and we're expecting interest rates to start to tick up throughout the year, especially if there's any news of positive economic growth. We've already started to see that happen a little bit in the last couple of weeks. Personally, I think that we've reached the bottom when it comes to interest rates. This combination of low inventory and low interest rates will continue driving prices upwards throughout 2021. Now, how bad exactly is the inventory shortage? Well, we have to look at rate of sales versus inventory. This will tell us about how long it'll take for the current inventory on market to be depleted. A neutral balanced market, which means it's neither a seller's market nor a buyer's market, is about 6 months of inventory. Where are we right now in Santa Clarita? Well, we got about 170 active homes on the market right now. At the current rate of sales, we have not even 1 month's inventory. We're at about 1/3 of a month's inventory. We got about 11 days of inventory. In the San Fernando Valley, we got about 1,500 homes that are currently active for sale. That is also less than 1 month inventory. That is about 3/4 a month inventory, or about 24 days of inventory. Given the fact that a neutral market is about 6 months inventory, we are so far from that right now. In Santa Clarita, we are about 2,400 homes short, based on the current rate of sales, to have a neutral market. In the San Fernando Valley, we're about 9,800 homes short from a neutral balanced market. And all these homes are going to have to come on the market at the same time for the market to be balanced and neutral. Just not looking realistic anytime soon. Now, a lot of people have been asking, well, you know what? Maybe all the foreclosures that'll happen because of the forbearance agreements ending will lead to all the new inventory. Well, not quite. Here's a couple reasons why that's not very likely. Number one, the government continues extending the foreclosure and eviction moratoriums. Another reason, banks have already stated that they're going to be working with homeowners more than they ever have to prevent foreclosures from happening. They don't want a bunch of people living on the streets when we already got this big homelessness problem that we can't control anyway. And third, homeowners right now have a record amount of equity, more than any other time in American history. Did you know 42% of homeowners do not even have a mortgage? They own their home free and clear. And 60% of homeowners have at least 60% equity in their home. So if someone really needed to sell, let's say they lost their job, they could afford to do that at full market value and walk away with cash rather than getting foreclosed on. So because of these reasons, a market crash is not likely. So home prices should still continue rising this year, although the rise should be a bit more modest than what we saw last year. Now, as we expect interest rates to start ticking up this year as the economy starts to recover, that might reduce buyer demand a bit. But I don't think it's going to reduce it by a whole lot because they're still expected to stay in the low 3% range, which is historically still phenomenal. Now, some of you might have heard about this as well. In one of the last acts before the President Trump administration had left office, HUD had announced that FHA will now start backing mortgages for immigrants that are part of the DACA program again. This is great. This is phenomenal, but it doesn't solve the problem of the inventory shortage. If anything, it just increases buyer demand even more. What we really need is a solution to the inventory crisis that we're having. We need incentives for new home builders and new construction to be happening so that way we could start to have more inventory on the market. So if you still want to sell, sell. It's a phenomenal time to do it, but don't overprice your home because there are still some homes sitting on the market even as hot as it is. If you want to buy, definitely buy because interest rates are still at record lows. Don't wait for interest rates to start ticking up even more along with home prices rising and then you get priced out of the market. Since it's going to be really competitive still this year as a buyer, you just got to make sure that your realtor really knows how to get your offer to stand out from 10 to 12 other offers. And that means optimizing all 10 parts that there is to an offer. I'll save that for another video. But that is my 2021 market forecast. If you're counting on a crash to happen, don't hold your breath. We're expecting home prices to continue rising and interest rates to start rising. If you found this video helpful, make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Click on the bell icon so you get notifications when I release the next video. And of course, comment down below what you learned from this or what you'd like me to talk about in future videos. But thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys at the next video.